Republican strategist and Fox News contributor, and Krystal Ball, author of Reversing the Apocalypse, she said, hijacking the Democratic Party to save the world. Welcome to both of you. Good to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
So that's a bit of a rock and a hard place, Mercedes. Let me start with you on this, because if you do the sanctuary city clawback of federal dollars from places that are not recognizing the laws that are on the books, and you use that money to put it towards a wall, you're probably going to get some Democratic pushback, and you may end up with a government shutdown.
You're going to get plenty of Democratic pushback, but I think that we've learned in the lessons of the past. You go back to 2013 when Republicans conservative Republicans pushed for this government shutdown. It was incredibly unpopular. Almost 81% of Americans disapproved of that action. And obviously, I think for the Democrats, when they're talking about shutting down the government, they're shutting down their own very fabulous government programs that they themselves support, and they highly criticize the Republicans for that act. So I think it would be unwise for the Democrats to move on a shutdown of the government over this over the sanctuary cities. With that being said, it would go against every single bone in the body of a Democrat to want to shut down government programs in this case.
Interesting position to be in, Krystal.
Indeed it is. I don't know when the president is going to figure out that there is no pleasing the Freedom Caucus. I thought it was encouraging after healthcare. There were some signs that maybe he was going to rethink his approach. The Republican caucus has been notoriously difficult to work with, to work even together. So he was going to reach out to Democrats. This is exactly the wrong way to go about it. I mean, putting sanctuary city and the defunding of sanctuary cities and the wall into this budget proposal would absolutely poison the well, not only for this continuing resolution, but also going forward, working with Democrats at all. So I think it's a disastrous move, not only for a potential government shutdown, but moving forward and trying to get anything done in this administration.
Go ahead, Mercedes.
Well, I'll have to argue a little bit on that point, because I think for the Democrats, with the liberal Democrats in particular, that they have their resistance movement, that they're unwilling to even sit down with the president and get things done, makes it very difficult. I think that there is some room with several of the Democrats, not many in the Senate, obviously in those battleground states, like a Senator Joe Manchin, who has been willing to talk with the president. I think we have to remember back in 2015, it was a House Republican in a united force, both moderates and conservative Republicans, including Hispanic Republicans, who voted in favor of defunding sanctuary cities. So I think it's possible to get this done in the House from a governing coalition standpoint. The difficulty will lie in the Senate, obviously, in terms of the Democrats trying to put a stop to this, but they do run a very big risk if they decide to shut down the government.
Yeah,
Martha, just keep one quick thing in mind. The Republicans are in control in the House, the Senate, and they have the presidency. So if the government is shut down, voters are going to know where the blame lies.
No, they're going to blame it on they'll blame it on the Democrats.
How so?
Republicans control everything.
The Republicans said, you got to give us the House, the Senate, and the White House, and then we're going to get all this stuff done. So it is on them, the onus, isn't it, Mercedes?
I don't think it is on the Republicans. I think when they look, last time around, I remember Ted Cruz reading Green Eggs and Ham on the Senate floor, and that was what you saw. That was a visual that you can remember from that government shutdown, and it was an incredibly unpopular move by the conservative Republicans. I think if you start seeing Chuck Schumer reading Green Eggs and Ham on the Senate floor, that's the image that you're going to see.
Yeah, but is it wise to have the $1.4 billion for the wall in this bill, and to have the sanctuary city money that they hope to get from some of these offenders in this bill?
In my sources in Congress have told me that it's going to be very difficult. I think you'll probably see more of a watered down approach. You even see some Republicans who are hesitant to put so much money or funding into building the wall, and that doesn't even include the potential lawsuits that come with that bill. So I think it really is it's problematic, and I think Republicans need to think this through.
All right, we got to go. Krystal, thank you. Mercedes, thank you.
Thank you,
Good to see you both. So a slim margin of victory for a Republican veteran over a novice Democrat has some Republicans a little bit nervous about what that might mean. Chris Stirewalt and Guy Benson break it all down for us on what the two parties can take away as we look towards, I hesitate to say it, the 2018 midterms when we come back.